We'll find out.
It is. Hello and welcome to Airstrip 1. Today we'll be talking about Epstein's list. My dog ate it, unfortunately, so we can't talk about it. So what we're going to do, I've got Mackie and Brian here. Say hello, please, because I've lost the list. I need someone else to talk. I'm going to cry.
Brian, you want to say hello first?
Yeah, what's up, guys? Brian, Rubber Ducky Isopods. I'm always loving to hang out with you guys, talk about conspiracy stuff. I think this is part of the apex of what real power, it seems like, is into. And so it'll be interesting to talk about this with you guys that are more open-minded than some of my other friends here in Colorado.
Well, what do you mean? Yeah, I'm Mackie, everybody. Yeah, you all know me, I suppose. It was on the best episode on Wednesday. But I just want to jump back in there, Brian, and be like, have you spoken to your friends about this? And they're like, but they think that there's no Epstein list? What do you mean? They're closed-minded.
Yeah, I think a lot of people blindly just go like, well, there wasn't a list. It was just hyped up. They said to move on, so we're moving on. And that's disheartening, because I was trying to explain to my wife even like a week ago that this is kind of like, the people that have been following this, it's heartbreaking to see the way that they've handled this really from the get-go, hyping everything up, releasing all those so-called phase 1 files.
The phase 1 folders, mate. Fucking hell.
And,
what happened to them?
But there is no phase 2. So what are you even doing? Fucking
What
hell.
does that even mean then? If it's phase one, and
Mhm.
then when it's all closed up, nothing to see.
Fucking shocking.
So I suppose we
So
start. Just to say, we should start with like who really is Epstein, and what is the list.
Yeah, who is Epstein?
It's
You want to tell
like,
us about that, Billy?
well, apparently he was a paedophile. Well, not apparently, because he did actually get
Yeah, he
convicted,
was
didn't he, of
convicted
it?
for it.
He
Yeah.
was a convicted paedophile, so there's no allegedly there. But there's so many allegeds about who he worked for, how he got his money. Sort of, there's so many question marks over who Epstein was in the first place. So I
Well,
think
let's start
sort
from the
of like,
beginning, right? So he was a maths teacher, right?
yes, he was a
And
maths
somehow,
teacher.
from being a maths teacher, he claimed to be good at stocks and shares and managed to get a portfolio of hundreds of millions and then maybe even billions, right? Was he worth billions eventually?
I don't think there was ever released of actually how much is worth, but I think it's the hundreds of millions of mark
Yeah,
rather than the
substantial amount of
billions.
money.
Yeah,
He
but
was
even still,
gifted one of the biggest properties in New York, right?
yeah,
Which was worth millions, just
that was
gifted
one
to
of
him.
the big question marks of why the fuck would someone give you like a property worth millions, like just as a gift. I can understand
Hmm.
if you're rich that you can give stuff away, but this was something like a £6 million property or something, wasn't it? And at the
no,
time, that
Yeah, yeah.
it was like $66 million.
yeah,
It's
I
one
was
of the
gonna say
most
yeah,
expensive.
but yeah,
Yeah.
it's like that's just crazy, like the amount of the he's been, and but it's not just that property, is it? He's been given other stuff as well. There's an Epstein list of stuff as well, which has been given, and other various sort of what perks of his job, which no one knows which his job was. So what else do you know about him, Mackie? Go on, carry on.
Well, that's what I know so far. And then there's claims that he was involved with Mossad, the Israeli intelligence community. When he was first prosecuted for being a wrongun, as we call it. When was that? Like 2007 or something? When was it? When he was maybe 2003? I'm
Yeah,
not
early
sure, but
2000s. Yeah,
there was people who were on the case who would say, we can't really do much about Epstein because he's above our pay grade, which is a strange thing for
He
anybody to
said that
say.
under oath.
Yeah, yeah. So something dodgy was going on with this guy, and I think that's pretty obvious. I think we can, when you look at everything, it seems pretty obvious that there was something going on with this guy. And I've said many times before, you can't get to a position of power and fame to a certain level. You can't get there unless you fuck the pig. That's what I like to call it. There's many other things you can do, but essentially you need to have some kind of a compromising situation so they know they have something they can hold against you. So you toe the fucking line. You step out of line, we release the picture of the pig. You know what I'm saying? So they have this guy Epstein, and there's many more people like Epstein. It wasn't just this one guy, and they get you in the compromising situation, get evidence of you doing it, and then be like, oh, look, this law's going to pass. You're going to say no to it. Otherwise, we release the pictures of the pig. And that's essentially it. You know what I mean?
yeah, and basically that's they did with
That's
Cameron.
it, right?
They
Yeah.
released the pictures of the pig.
Like legit of the pig. Like not
Yeah.
even taking the piss. Yeah. And you ever see that? There's a TV show on Netflix. I don't know if it's still there called Happy. Do you ever see that?
No.
No.
What is this guy? He's a little bit unhinged and he's got an imaginary friend called Happy, a little colorful unicorn that flies around and shit. But the premise of the show was this guy was chasing down like a super criminal, and this super criminal was stupidly rich and would throw these crazy sex parties where everybody was dressed up like bugs, like Beatles, not the band the Beatles, but Beatles. And he would get these people in compromising positions and get video of them in this compromising position. So it's essentially the same kind of premise as the whole Jeffrey Epstein thing. That he was just in positions of power and managed to become stupidly rich and successful just because of the people he had this kind of ammo against. And I just think you have to watch that TV show. It's an okay TV show, but it's just like how they like to do things in plain sight, like this
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
they pretend like they're telling us so they don't get bad karma or something. This ritual that they have. So I think they made this TV show to just be like, yeah, this was
It's
going on with Epstein.
The
You know what I
movie
mean?
Eyes Wide Shut, I've heard a lot of stuff
Yeah,
about
with
that
Tom Cruise
being,
as well.
yeah. So I've never really seen it myself, so I'll probably have to watch it now
I've
just
tried
because.
watching it, but it's a bit shit to be honest.
Yeah, okay, yeah,
Slow.
yeah. That's probably the issue as well. Maybe had over the past,
Hmm.
but also as well, it's not just like it's the amount of powerful people he knew as well, isn't it? And who flew on his plane, which is where the list sort of started to come from. If you know what I mean, who visited his island as such and how many times. So I think that's the biggest problem they've had with the list as such is who could be on it and who's
Well,
controlling
we
it.
know a certain few people who's on it, right?
Well,
Allegedly.
we allegedly we don't because we haven't got the list, so that they could be the only people on the list, the people who have been given now, or
Well,
they're
we
not.
have the flight
So,
logs, don't we? Which is
yeah,
essentially, and this is the problem
I can
with
say that's essentially a list, isn't it? So
yeah, yeah, and this is the problem I think we're because there's a few things that I think right that they can't just release the list because just because you're on the list doesn't mean that you're a fucking pedophile and you did dodgy shit out there. Maybe you went there and didn't do the dodgy shit and didn't get into the compromising situation, so you was never really wrong. You just went there. Like, did RFK say that he went, but he just went fossil hunting? He didn't do anything dodgy. I don't know whether that's true or not, but
yeah.
you know,
Also, you got to think sometimes if you did go there and you see anything or got like say offered it and you turned it down, you cut. It was difficult for you to say something because of you were just like knew that if you did, it weren't just you was dead. All your family going to die in a boating accident. If you know what I mean.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, all your family died in that helicopter accident.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's not just
It's not
you.
just you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not just you in your sleep with a few
you
pills.
know,
No, mate, it's like your whole
and that's
family
it.
in a car crash job.
Just because you're on that flight log doesn't mean that you're a dodgy bastard. So I can see why
Yeah,
they wouldn't release the list. Like we don't really want to do that. We don't want to slander anybody unnecessarily. You know, guilty by association. We don't want to roll like that, and I can completely understand that. But Donald Trump ran. It was part of his fucking policy. You know, part of his manifesto to be like, yo, when we get into power, we're gonna release that Epstein list. And it's
well,
like, why did you fucking say it then?
well, like Brian said earlier, like Cash and fucking Dan Bongino were definitely on the case of
Yeah.
like this is what we want to do, and this is big part of what we're gonna do is bring out this list and hunt this fucking pedos down.
Yep.
And it's like, well, come on then, put your money where your fucking mouth is, isn't it? Really,
And then they
that's
get into power and they're like, oh, what list? What are you even talking about?
yeah. And Dog ate it. It didn't
Mm-mm.
exist. He shut out nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if it
You
didn't
guys-
exist, sorry, Brian.
Well, I want to. I kind of wanted to go back from the beginning too because I think it starts to. I just want. Do you guys know what high school he was teaching at? That it was a private school. Like, there's a lot of early things that didn't make sense.
Hmm.
He was hired at that Dalton School in Manhattan to be a math teacher without a college degree, which at a
Wow.
private without
Yeah,
at a private school like that, I mean, you're talking about very wealthy people. They want to see some letters by these
Some
teachers'
credentials,
names.
man.
Well, also,
Right. If I'm paying
I-
20 G's for my children.
just to quickly point out, to go back even further, like his parents are both Jewish parents from New York as well, Brooklyn. So that which has a lot of that has a lot of information. That's why the Mossad stuff comes into play quite because obviously his parents being Jewish, so he has a big tie with Mossad by parents being Jews. So
It definitely seems like as he started to climb the ranks when he met Ghislaine Maxwell, obviously her father is Robert Maxwell, the newspaper conglomerate.
Mhm.
That gentleman, if you actually go down the rabbit hole of that and research his background, he didn't sugarcoat or try to cover the fact that he was pro-Zionist through the yin yang. Like he put a lot of his money into this kind of stuff, and
it was also pointed out that he was possibly working on behalf of Mossad and all that as well because he was so friendly with the Zionist Jewish state, if you know what I mean. So he didn't help him just with his money, but with his information, his journalism, if you know what I mean. So he'd get information through his journalism on people and then pass it on to Mossad to then use sort of.
And I think whatever. Because when he was at the Dalton School, he got fired, right? And they said it was for poor performance. But there's some journalists that have stated that he got caught because he was actually diddling the high school girls, even in the early stages, right? So for whatever reason, the Lex Wexler thing from the guy that owned Victoria's Secret, it's believed that Epstein did something or had something on him because it was he owns Victoria's Secret. He's supposedly doing all of this modeling stuff in the earlier days, and Epstein supposedly got something on him to give him that piece of property so that now he could start to become a major player in these socialite circles. Because look at this Manhattan house that all of a sudden I magically got, almost like a video game.
It's also, that's where they're part of the connection of the French guy who owned the modelling agency from France, who also killed himself as well.
Allegedly.
They all supposedly were into these modeling agencies. So why do you think, why would grown men want to own modeling agencies? This seems kind of,
yeah, kind of odd. Yeah, but these are modeling agencies for young people. They were like young girl modeling agencies for Disneyland as well. Used them as well and things like that.
Yeah, these were young girl. Yeah, that's a good point. It's not just a modeling agency. It's for basically grooming girls to become Victoria's Secret models and beyond. And in behind the scenes, what was going on behind there. It does seem like something happened where Epstein got his claws into that Lex dude. He gives him the Manhattan house, and from that point on, it seems like he becomes a socialite because he has that kind of piece of property. So he starts throwing these little parties even before the recordings and stuff, hanging out, and supposedly he then meets Ghislaine Maxwell, who then kind of puts him into the real Mossad type lifestyle because her father supposedly
or the connections, basically,
right.
Yeah, because of
and this is all speculation. I don't think anybody really knows what happened. But if you research Robert Maxwell, I think you'll start to see that guy was pretty fucked up.
Dodgy as fuck. Yeah. He died on a yacht as well, didn't he? He fell off his yacht apparently, and all of that malarkey.
Oh yeah, he died off it. To be fair.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Right. So I believe his son is named Ian. I believe he believes that he died of a heart attack. And then Ghislaine has always believed that he was killed. So if she already thinks that people are willing to kill, then I would imagine she knows that Epstein was also killed. And then that's why all of a sudden she wants to squeal and talk about it. What do you guys, let's talk about that. Because what do you think about Ghislaine not saying a word, kind of basically holding it down, if you will, in the hood by not telling on anybody. And then once all this stuff comes out, now she's willing to tell. I think that's a weird, like something has happened for her mind shift.
Maybe saying, I'm not sure. Maybe she feared for her life first of all, and now she doesn't so much.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
she's
got
her trial like. Wasn't there some dodginess in her trial? Like she didn't have a proper jury or something. I don't know. There's some dodgy stuff that went on with her trial as well. They say a lot of things were unfair. Wasn't done
barely covered. You'd almost have to find fringe type journalism that were deeply covering her.
It was all trial. Covering the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Is that her name? Amber Heard?
Yeah.
I think that trial was going on at the same time. So people were preoccupied with that one rather than watching Ghislaine.
Yeah, people preoccupied people shitting on pillars and stuff, weren't they?
Mm.
Which is so gross. Man.
It's Amber Heard, man. You'd let her do it, wouldn't you?
I don't think she's attractive.
No, I don't think she's that nice either. She looks a bit like
you two are gay,
in my opinion.
Well, if you're talking Johnny Depp level of women, I just don't think that's at the same level, dude.
Totally. It's more Sydney Sweeney level of.
Yeah, I think men would probably let her do that. Like, you shit on the bed. All right, let's call the maid.
Let me just clean this up again.
Yeah. Get a new pillow, man. Who cares?
You know what I mean? Mm-mm.
But
anyway, tangent.
I was gonna say, what do you guys think? Do you think Epstein was he was groomed in a kind of a weird way by the Maxwell family?
I think so. Because
was also well funded by Maxwell's friends. Like it seemed like You know, they both had money, but she was definitely the one that was connected at first. And then he kind of took those connections, became Ghislaine's boyfriend for a while, and I think really got himself deep into the super elite circles.
Yeah, because he's like he was a deviant. Then obviously he was prepared to do anything, and then he met a family that are prepared to do anything for for power and corruption. It seems because
No,
that's
it seems if like the Mac, and this is all just allegedly, everybody, just before we start. The Maxwell, like Ghislaine Maxwell and her dad, they were kind of, well, her dad at least was in that kind of business in the first place. Found out about this guy who had something on one of the people to get him into the school. It was like, it's like gangsters, isn't it? Like, are you working on my block without paying a fee? So they found out about this guy and then scooped him up and was like, yeah, come and work for us. We can, I think we can make some good things together. So yeah, then they hooked him up and got started in the business.
gave him a proper job.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah,
no, you can do much better than just get a teaching job. Did you get fired? Oh, that's a shame. Come and work for us. You've got some certain skills that are useful to us. And it was like, yeah, fuck it, let's go.
Yeah, he
Here's the
got
house.
that when he was a teacher, he didn't it wasn't like he was balling or anything. So it was a very weird scenario to be a math teacher, albeit a very prestigious school, and then get fired from that. I believe it was a couple years into after he gets fired, and now all of a sudden he's like an ultimate property owner in New York. Like, how
Yeah,
does that happen, dude? I mean, who it's literally like a cheat code to life. He figured out that I think powerful people like to hook up with children, and he exploited that shit as a career choice.
yeah, maybe
Whether
because
whether Mossad figured that out or not, I don't know. Because from what I understand, man, I really love this shit. I've been studying this kind of stuff my whole life, especially the Mossad and the French. Actually, in their research are probably even better than some of these CIA and Mossad stuff. So it's like the French are at the top for whatever reason, and then the U.S. and Mossad are kind of like the big dogs in kind of this elite kind of world. And for what I've learned is that Mossad doesn't really make mistakes like that. Like the fact that he kept getting
Mhm.
caught seems kind of silly, unless, like you guys were saying, they just started releasing kissing the pig photo, and now you're fucked because you did something to somebody you shouldn't have. He maybe tried to blackmail somebody you shouldn't have, like Puff Daddy, or he tried to, like, extort money from that alcohol conglomerate.
maybe he just got slack because he just wasn't good enough. If you know what I mean, some people just got slack or just made mistakes. If you know what I mean, maybe that just.
But that's
happened,
what I
'cause people
mean.
just yeah.
I don't think Mossad does that, bro. Those
Yeah, but
dudes to me are like Delta Force.
He wasn't Masada. Masada are only just people, if you get what I mean. So if it only takes 2 or 3 people to make some mistakes, and then that's it, if you know what I mean. So it's like you can't. No one's infallible, even though it seems some people are, and they're like the SAS. But even the SAS have made mistakes, but we just don't know about them because they were good at hiding them, their mistakes, because they're so good at everything else. You don't notice their mistakes as such. So it's like, and his maybe stood out more because of what mistakes they were. If you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
that's yeah. Go on.
Well, I don't know how dark you want to get into some of it.
Yeah, go dark, man.
All right. So supposedly the reason why you would take all these risks to go to an island and stuff is there's these things called panda eyes. Have you ever heard of that?
Mm-hmm.
So if that's truly going on, and that is actually kind of like I don't know, like almost like a sport to people that of this kind of world, um, that could potentially have also been like what Jeffrey, and probably there's other people in the world that do that offer service to super elite people. They think that they're quietly on an island doing some of this horrific stuff, where actually on the back end they're being recorded doing this horrific stuff, and that's why people are falling in line real quick with all of a sudden, because saying that all of a sudden the Epstein thing is closed up is probably the worst thing they could have ever done, because now none of that makes sense to anybody, whether you casually follow this or not.
When Trump he interrupted the journalist and was like, "Are we still talking about Epstein? This guy's been dead for years, and he looks so fucking guilty." when he
Yeah.
says this shit, especially when he's been talking about the Epstein list for a couple of years when he's running for re-election and shit. And
He was
then all of
talking
a
shit
sudden,
on Bill.
yeah,
He was making fun of Bill Clinton.
yeah. So for him to do, I think it was very bad, and I think it's a big thing that has separated him from his base because it was a big part of his campaign, man, and a lot of people want to see that shit released. They want to see people held accountable. Anybody who is involved in this and who is dodgy needs to be held accountable. And for him to just suddenly be like, "Oh, there is no list. We should all just move on and forget about this." It's like, hold on, why would you say that unless you were in on it? But the thing is, when they say, Trump's obviously on it, it's like, why didn't the Democrats release it then? Because there's just been a whole 4 years of Democrat presidency, and they threw everything at Trump. You know what I'm saying? He did this, he did that, 34 he kept failing his, whatever the shit. Anything they could pin on Trump, they were fucking throwing it at him. So if I think there was something in the Epstein list that would have made him look dodgy, it would have been released when the Democrats were in power to try and stop him from becoming president in the first place. So I think it's one of them, like we discussed earlier. There's people who may be on the list but didn't do anything dodgy. I think that might be the
Or
case.
maybe there's literally so many people on the list that it's like a nuclear thing where either side is like, look, I don't want to fucking push the button. You guys over there, you guys don't push the button. We're just gonna say that this is gonna go away, and we're gonna try to move on to Obama. Did some collusion for Russia. Hopefully, our base will buy into
allegedly.
I think they're trying to distract the public fiercely with the fact that people are paying attention to this Epstein thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense, man. It doesn't make sense why this is somehow.
It makes perfect sense, Brian. They're all on it.
Well,
that's what makes perfect sense.
Even in like the gutter world, man, in prison and stuff, if you have these kind of charges, you are done for. And the fact that on the elite, we're talking probably the like top, I don't know, 1,000 people in the world that he was probably trying to get into these rooms. The fact that maybe 100 of them are on that list seems to be that they're all getting together and saying like, look, whatever we need to do, whoever we need to scare, let's make sure that they know that we got to Epstein and we'll get to them if they release anything like that. Because that's kind of my viewpoint after kind of watching this stuff, is that somebody scared somebody, and now it is trickling down.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's not you, because you might not care about yourself, but it's your family. And if it's not your family, it'd be like, well, we'll get your sister and your sister's family. And he goes like, they go back to your grandparents. So like, if you haven't got no wife and sister, or all your cousins, then like it'd be like they're threatened to wipe out entire families. And obviously, you've seen what they've done. You probably know they will do it, sort of thing. So it's like if they're willing to take out certain people, then they're willing to take out anyone, isn't they? So it's like they'll do anything to cover it up. So it is a bit scary as far as the levels is.
That's it. Some people are willing to fall on that sword, man. Like, fine, come get me. But then when they start threatening your kids, and that they're capable of doing shit, then you've got to toe the fucking line, ain't you? It's not just you.
That's why you sort of need people in positions who don't have families, in a way, didn't you? Because then.
This is why they choose these kind of people, so they can have something against them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, or they get something against them and then choose them.
What do you guys think about the video, the 10-hour video that supposedly was boring? And and then all of a sudden you find out from Wired magazine that it's been edited, saved, and resaved.
Also,
and even put through Adobe Photoshop. That's in the code as well.
Yeah, you've got the cursor on the screen, haven't you? So you can't
cursor on the screen. What the
fuck is
around
that? 3 minutes missing from the video altogether as well.
Also, the fact that it doesn't even face his cell. It's just like, don't even get the stairs to his cell. It's just like the central part. It's like, fucking just the something real. Like, that's just bullshit, isn't it?
What does Kash Patel say on Joe Rogan podcast? Oh, we got the video. It's going to be conclusive. We're going to release the whole thing. You guys are going to be able to see what we see. And then when they show it, it's not even on his jail cell. And you're just like, what the fuck kind of like tiptoe wording is this? Where it's like, okay, we're going to release this video. When I saw that, I was like, all right, well, maybe Kash Patel really is just trying to.
Where's the conclusive shit, man?
Yeah. And then when they show it, dude, this isn't even his cell. You guys could have done all kinds of crazy shit saying it this way. And then when Wired Magazine came out with their findings, that's when I guess my wife has to hear the brunt of this bullshit. Probably the same thing that you guys do. I was like, see, this is some bullshit. I knew this shit was fucked up. When she was saying that it just loops, it's like, oh, it just loops after a minute all the time, you know? On the night that the guy gets murdered, the cameras never work. The people that are there supposedly are working double shifts and all this kind of stuff.
I think another thing which we can add to this is like everybody talking about, did Jeffrey Epstein kill himself? Was he murdered? Is he even dead? Huh? Has anybody seen the body? Do we even believe it if we did? You think they could? Somebody with this kind of power, with this kind of fucking shit on everybody, you think they couldn't just make it look like somebody killed him?
Yeah, that's why the cameras weren't working, because so he could fucking sneak out.
Yeah, they either killed him or got him out of there. Either way, I think it was.
Either way, it's bullshit, elite. And they're lying. Yeah, someone.
Because I mean, as weird as this is to say, watching a lot of interviews with Bill Gates and the way that when he's asked about this stuff, I truly do think that he would be that kind of guy to go out there and find a hitman just to shut him up, so that it doesn't get back to him, let alone all the other people. Because when when the journalists ask him about that, usually his response is, well, he's dead or he's passed on. He's usually like quick to be like, yo, like this is supposed to be like, we don't talk
about. That's what you get. That's what you get.
I don't care that I was hanging out with him after. That's the big thing, right? That's the thing with the Prince Andrew and with Bill Gates, is y'all were hanging out with him after he was convicted. And that's the fucked up. I don't think anybody condones that.
Yeah, a lot of people fucking were on that one, wasn't it? It's like, oh, but like, why was you with him afterwards? It was like quite a lot of time afterwards as well, wasn't it? It was like
a lot of scientists were hanging out with him after that, which is fucking weird.
Yeah, that's weird. Why was a lot of scientists? I know scientists are weird, but like, are they that weird? Does it make you weird if you're a scientist? Maybe because you're a loner, if you know what I mean. If you know what I mean, you're a scientist, so it makes you a bit of a loner, so you don't interact with women well. And maybe that's why. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
And he prays on that part, if you know what I mean. Because then he gets patents. Science patents are worth a lot of money and a lot of power, aren't they? Imagine the dude's just invented something and you've got shit on him. It's like, yeah, mate, I'll have 30% of your patent you're bringing out, your new fuel cells. Cheers, mate.
Hey, do you guys know? Have you guys heard of the James O'Keefe journalist? Do you know who that is?
Yeah, the name rings a bell. I've heard of his stuff before, but I don't know too much about the material he writes.
Someone in the government sent him like behind the scenes footage of.
Oh, is that Project Veritas?
Yeah, that's part of it.
Yeah. Oh, right.
All right. So James O'Keefe, this is probably a month ago or so. Somebody in the government sent him stuff, and you could see that he has like, even on his little chalk drawing in his this is all on the island. It says like power. It has like this weird, almost like villain. It's super fucking weird, dude. It's basically like he's writing all this these power words on the chalkboard. And James O'Keefe is showing it, and he has all this like medieval stuff and ancient. I'm sure like everything in there is like $100,000 of, you know, whatever, old chairs, medieval chairs. It's very interesting to see. I don't know if you can bring up any of that. I don't know if that's possible on this show, Billy, but James O'Keefe shared it with the world. He did it on the PBD podcast and his YouTube channel. Okay. But it's very telling when you start to see that this guy is whoever he was, man. It seemed like because he was able to get all this money real quick, he was able to tap into some like weird, either metaphysical or occult or however you want to kind of say that world. And if he did tap into that, I think that might be, if you're even going on a deeper rabbit hole of what really is that kind of stuff, like Aleister Crowley type stuff. Are you familiar with that
Crowley,
dude?
yeah. Aleister Crowley.
Aleister Crowley, yeah. So yeah, that gentleman, you know, he was into some dark stuff. So some of that stuff's always been passed down. Like I believe he learned from a Madame Blavatsky or something like that. I haven't studied that part in a while because to be honest, man, that kind of stuff creeps me out because it seems like when they get that deep and they understand it at the level that Crowley did, then they pass it down to someone else, and it kind of continues.
Mm. Yeah, man, dodgy shit. I think it's like this, and when people get to a certain amount of rich, when there is no question, you can have whatever the fuck you want. I don't know, man. Does life get boring at that stage, and then you start going to things that are more taboo because that's what you can't have. You want to strive for things you can't have. Maybe that's
Yeah,
what
because you
fuels
can
them.
have
That's it.
anything because you decide to
Yeah,
get the
yeah.
things you can't have. Yeah,
You're like,
or
you want a
also because
Lamborghini? Oh, get me three, please. You know, it's nothing. You know.
also because you've done everything else. If you know what I mean, like
Mm-hmm.
you've had like 20 hookers dancing around you and fucking bags of cocaine and you can only do so much of that before you realise you're just gonna die. And some people do. They like their diddy parties and go under. If you know what I mean.
People are fucking strange, man.
And yeah, so it's just a lot has been exposed about these elites that they're into their weird shit anyway. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like it does seem that when you got all that money, because there's nothing else to do apart from weird shit. Because like you say, like they can do anything else normal, and that's boring now. Because let's do the stuff we can't really do. Because that's
Mm-hmm.
exciting. That's where the adrenochrome is, as such.
Yeah, that's another thing, isn't it? The adrenochrome, man. What is going on there?
Do you think that's a part of it? Because almost
I,
that's
I
very
don't know, man. I
connected
would
to
like
this
to say no,
circles.
but it seems to make a lot of sense, you know?
But that is
It's
what's connected to this circle of things. Of why else would you, if you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Where do all these children go afterwards? If you know what I mean, if so many have been raped,
Yeah,
at
yeah.
least you think a few more of them would have come out, and it's like, well, they obviously don't because of, well, these scary reasons, isn't it?
Yeah.
How
I
many
don't know. And
children
you
got
look at
trafficked?
these, you just look at these celebrities that just look ridiculously young, you know, and how do they do it? And it just seems like this adrenochrome, whatever you want to call it.
Pizzagate, yeah.
Yeah, it seems like this. I don't know, man. It seems like there's something to it. I just hope that there isn't. I hope the world isn't that fucked. I hope it doesn't go that deep, but it
See
also
this.
wouldn't surprise me if it
See,
did.
this is where you hope it's a simulation, and then it doesn't matter because we're all just a computer program, and then we're not real. So it doesn't matter because we're not real. But if we are real and it does matter, then it's really fucking sick, isn't it? So in a
Mm.
way, you just hope it's a simulation because then it's not real. Do you understand what I mean there?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Because then it's just a game.
yeah, it's just a game.
It's
It's
not.
a
It's
sick.
not real people. It's happening to. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-mm.
I
Boy, but
think for me, I've always enjoyed this kind of like topic. But the fact that we have fingerprints to me, that there's some kind of purpose to all this.
yeah, the
What you
individuality
mean
of it.
fingerprints?
Well, yeah, like there's how many? There's over 8 billion, I believe, on the planet now, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
So in every single one of us, we have our own identity. That's a very interesting thing.
If
Mm.
we was a computer simulation, there'd be copies and pastes of. There'd be an exact copy of me somewhere in Thailand because the
I would
computer wouldn't be able to produce that individual.
Yeah, it
It,
would.
no, but it wouldn't because it'd just be easier for it to copy and paste individual.
Nah.
Yeah, no, it would. It
When they
wouldn't.
have the
Yeah.
processing power and the energy, they could easily make random generated shit all the fucking time.
No, the
I don't
computer would
think.
just out of laziness, the computer would just copy and paste.
also,
It would.
what about like hate and love? Like computers don't give a shit
Yeah.
about that. So what about those?
Yeah, you
I think
can't
the
program
fingerprints
him
and emotion.
emotions. Yeah,
Yeah, emotion,
program emotion
fingerprints,
and
something.
dreams as well. You can't hard to program dreams.
Yeah, something's going on there. And then
Yeah.
how deep and where you want to go with that, I think is, up to you, of course. But this seems almost too good to be true. Life in general, the fact that we have seasons, that we're rotating,
Yeah.
all that shit. And then here we are talking about like Epstein type stuff when I think if we really were more of a kumbaya world and we could start to figure out what the hell is really going on here, that would be the enlightenment of,
Also, you think that maybe because they're the elites that have some sort of truth that something's happened or is going to happen or other truths, and that's why they are how they are. If you know what I mean. Because if they knew there was definitely a Satan and definitely a God, and if you know what I mean, and then there's like, well, hell's definitely a better option than heaven to them. If you know what I mean. So why do they do what they do? Because that would mean make heaven and hell true if they believed in that, because they're Satanists, it seems. So it's like, what drives that passion in them to make them so sick? What do they know?
Some people are just psychopaths, man. Psychopaths and
I know.
narcissists.
Yeah, I know. But some of these elites have information and knowledge. What drives that passion behind it? Like, it's just mind-boggling. It's like, because we're finding out a lot of stuff about sort of history. AI is gonna teach us a lot with all the Sumerian sort of tablets and I suppose interpretations of stuff. Searching the stars as well. Maybe it could help with astronomy and things to figure out stuff is real
It's
or
gonna
not.
help a lot.
Yeah.
It'll help with a lot of things if we can get there without it destroying us or us destroying ourselves. But
Yeah,
anyway, that's a completely different topic, isn't it?
we fucking fight over like really weird shit if we really try to be better kumbaya style about it, and really try to understand, because the ancient stuff is also eye-opening, right? Because if they understand the universe better than we do currently, like, how in the world is that possible? And what how does the Dogon tribe talk about the star Sirius before anybody else even knows about that until high level, not microscopes, what's the other word from to look at the stars? Well,
Well, to
can't-
stargaze as such.
like stargazing, whatever you're using to look at that. I got pretty high, so I'm excited. Now,
Well, telescopes, you mean?
telescope. There we go. I don't know why I could fucking remember that. Telescopes, man. Because when you really do wonder why we're even here and stuff, if you eat mushrooms with your buddies, to me, and then you kind of sit around, it makes me wonder why do certain religions give a shit about land so much? Like, why does that create like suicidal beliefs that martyrism is the way to go because that land belongs to a certain person, or you know basically genocide of certain human beings that don't seem to me currently seem like there's no real worldly protection for everyone around the world. you know there's a lot going on right now that seems very wicked, and for reasons that seem beyond just money. So where does that come from? Like, this seems almost like religious hate on a
Yeah, I understand
whole,
what you
like,
mean. Yeah, a whole new
generation.
level. Yeah, whole
Yeah.
generational level. Yeah, I understand what you mean there. And it is a bit odd how all this sort of Epstein lift is sort of connected in a way to it all. 'Cause it's all about power and control. And ultimately, it's like the knowledge is power and control, isn't it? Really, and that's what he bought and sold mostly, was knowledge, wasn't it? Really, was his knowledge on people or what they done or what they haven't done. So it's
Yeah, like, supposedly how he would kind of do it is he would say, like, oh, by the way, I had heard that we caught Mackie hooking up with XYZ, right?
What?
And then you go,
I didn't know you
right.
knew about that.
Exactly. And then what he basically says is, he goes, but don't worry about it. We've erased it. And he kind of like walks off at the dinner party. So that then whoever that person is that he's kind of done that has just dropped a fucking bomb on that person. And then that person wants to come and talk to him. And I think that's where he's able to be like, all right, you don't want me to release this shit? I want your house in Manhattan. And I'm sure he looked at him and was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then he pulled up his little videos and showed him, and he got a house. We should probably Google what that thing is worth. But I know that it was worth over 50 million at some point. It was one of the like most sought after pieces of property in New York. And this guy basically has gifted it to it, like BA, up, down, left, right, BA, select, start. Get a little extra Manhattan boost so that you can, impress basically the elites in New York and around the world.
So what you're saying is, if we can find pictures of Mackie fucking the pig, we get his house.
Yes, absolutely, and we get all his belongings.
I'll send you the pictures. I'll send you the pictures. You just have to subscribe to my OnlyFans for $2.09 a month. That's all.
But do you see how you could?
Not in the UK, mate. Not in the UK, mate. You need a fucking ID to do that shit.
I was gonna say, you guys can see how kind of easy it is to blackmail somebody just by
Yeah.
saying like they're
I
when
know what
you
you mean.
know
Yeah,
something about them,
just
and you
drop
don't even
it.
have to say it. Hey,
But even
I'm
at the dinner
looking out for
party
you,
as well.
man.
Yeah, especially at the dinner
Yeah.
party as well. The dinner party trick, he'd be the one because that's where you'd do it, and because you're in public and you're almost talking about it in public already, and he's like,
Right.
what the fuck?
It's loud in there.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
It's
So I mean, it's loud in there, so no one really hears what you're talking about. So you can just sort of like say it discreetly enough for him to give it some. I think I need to talk to this cunt here. He's
yeah.
gonna, yeah. So of course, while your wife's probably being dogged upstairs, and then like you need to chat to the dude, isn't it? That's normally what goes on at these parties, isn't it? Put your keys in a dish and all of that.
Don't know. I've never been to one, Billy. That's all you, bro.
Oh right, sorry, mate. But I have seen some of these parties, and that's what they do.
Yeah, there's a whole world, man. There's worlds of power.
There's a whole world of a whole world out there, man, and people don't understand it. And I think we get caught up in our own little worlds because we're just fighting to be able to eat and drink and be merry, if you know what I mean. While they're like just worrying about fucking what plane they're going to get next and where they're going to, what party they're going to go next, what business they're going to turn over next to keep themselves on top. You know what I mean? Because there's always a small business out there being bought up by the bigger business to take them over. Like Disney owns like 1,000 businesses, doesn't it? It ain't just Disney. It's like the Disney empire.
Disney owns a lot.
It's a fucking empire now. Like they are almost like they own Star Wars, but they are the Sith Empire pretty much, aren't they? It's like they own everything. So I think that's where the Epstein list comes into play as well, because of all these people who own everything, have got all this power over everything. If you can get power over 4 or 5 people, then you can get power over sort of like a third of the world, because these 4 or 5 people like control a third of the world's businesses or something. So that if you just go down a few runs from that, you're still getting a lot of power and control over shit. So I think that list is what. Even if the list is in his head or in Maxwell, his missus's head, Ghislaine's, and so it's.
Yeah, what do you think about that as well? Because there's been some pardons offered. Have they been offered? I don't know. It's been thrown up in the air. Maybe she's requesting a pardon in order to give information about people. You think she's going to do it?
Well,
I hope so.
She's been speaking to the Supreme Court, right?
Did you see that she just got moved from Florida to Texas?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, recently, yeah.
So that right there lets you know that she's cooperating.
I'm surprised there wasn't some kind of freak accident on the way.
Oh, I'm sure they're gonna get whatever they can get out of her, and then they're gonna like say they're gonna buffer that for real, and then they're gonna tell the public. Yeah, this is
I think she's still. My personal opinion is I think she's still alive and she didn't have an accident on the way, because she has information stored in a few places somewhere, and she's saying, "I've got this information stored somewhere. Like I've got a dead man switch, mate. That as soon as I die, this shit gets sent out there. What I'm to do, I'm gonna give you some of it." If you get what I mean, and she's making a deal like she has to.
She doesn't seem like a stupid woman.
She's not.
I think
she got brought up by her father. Her dad was not stupid. He owned journalistic newspapers that fucking had some of the best investigators and people in the world. So that's what she grew up around, journalistic investigation. So she knew how to get information and keep it and then use it at certain stages. Yeah, that is how she worked. Yeah, that is her life. Yeah, so to me, she has a dead man switch. Yeah, that is my opinion for sure. No, that's what I would have done from the start. That's what the people used to do, and her dad's old school. Yeah, so that's what she would do. She's old school, if you know what I mean. She's none of this, like, got nothing to do with the internet as well. It won't be nothing on the internet. It'd be all paperwork somewhere in safes in several places, or even buried in a desert somewhere, if you know what I mean, which several people have locations of. It's quite easy to do that on an island, in a fucking buried 6 foot down in a beach. It's like if you know what I mean, there's 1,000 billion islands out there. It could be on any one of them. Like, you ain't gonna know. So I think she's got that, and she's got information on people still, and that's why she's still alive. And she's just been negotiating with them, and then it's just taken this time. If you know what I mean. And maybe she's playing her cards because maybe she was safe in prison, than rather being out at that certain stage. You don't know how the game works, do you? If you know what I mean. And what game she's playing.
Yeah. I mean, think about where she came from. She's a socialite the day she's born.
Oh, totally. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. She knows the game. Yeah, and she's a long-term player. If you know what I mean, like a couple of years in life ain't nothing. If you know what I mean, she could have lived it up in prison. And thought, yeah, this is actually after the life I've just had. This is actually relaxing and sobering for her. If you know what I mean. Yeah, so it's a bit solid. Yeah,
of course,
no, I don't have no sympathy, but
no,
it's just like I'm just trying to see from her point of view, and so to give us some sort of insight as to why it's going on. If you know what I mean, it's like the psychology of it needs to be studied. It doesn't matter if you like someone or not. You've got to psychoanalyze it with zero emotion, and you can't be either for or against it. What they done and who they trafficked is a bit fucking sick. If it's down to me, most of them should be chopped up quite horrifically. It should be the Florida, Florida. Anyone under 12 who's been sexually abused is going to get now the death penalty, isn't it? That's just come into play. Well, I'm not sure. Where is it? Minnesota or somewhere like that has just said you can do it by firing squad as well. Go old school with guns. It's like, too right and all.
When Jeffrey Epstein got busted the first time in Florida, do you guys remember who the Attorney General was?
No.
Pam Bondi.
Ooh.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So that's why, to me, that's why when she acts like she doesn't really know what's going on, and she's got to check on it because it's on her desk, it's like, give me a fucking break, lady. You know exactly what's going on. She's an intelligent person. So.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, don't use your intelligence and think we're all dumb.
Yeah,
just because you're intelligent, don't think everyone else is dumb. It's like, that's the thing. It's like, because
I don't think I want anybody else looking into this kind of thing.
It's like, no, she's gonna have to. Got no choice.
She seems like a gangster now to me. You know?
Yeah, but
she's like protecting. She's protecting the guys up in New York, and she's down in Florida, and kind of thing, like the old school gangster way.
I get what you mean there, totally, and it's quite a funny way of putting it because that's what it is. They're all cartels, aren't they? Really, to be honest, all politicians and are a cartel because they're in with it with certain businesses, and most of the time it's like fucking all big business because they rule the world. They have all the resources. They have all the oil and all the fucking minerals and all the phones and everything else we use, the computer chips. And without all that, we wouldn't function. We wouldn't be here discussing that shit. So it's a bit wank, really, to be honest. We're stuck in like a catch-22 here, aren't we? So, but we definitely. I don't think this is ever going to go away, though, is it? People are never going to be
unless
like,
they release everything. Even then, because I think the only thing they can do here is just release everything and let people make up their own.
We need a lot of everything. Yeah, everything apart from the actual videos. But then they could also, like, at least release a still with everything blacked out apart from the person who's in it, a redacted thing. If you know what I mean. So literally, it's a black picture with just the person's face, and that's it. It's like, this video, this person, this face. This video, this person, this face. If someone's got to look at the video anyway, well, then they can freeze frame it, use an AI editing tool, black everything out apart from this circle here, which is the dude's face. Done. Move on. Yeah.
They could do it.
They could do it.
So don't have to expose any victims or anything like that.
No.
They can just get the perpetrators.
There'd be no information because, like, if you maybe just blurred it out, people could unblur stuff and then maybe get not an image of the child, but an image of a photograph or an address or some personal information in the picture somewhere, if you know what I mean. But if you just completely blank it out and put a face up, then that'd be difficult to do, if you know what I mean. So it's like, at least try and give us some information.
Hey, Bill Gates is gonna get you, boy. You put his shit out there. I think he's a gangster behind the scenes.
Oh, totally, yeah. They all are. Yeah, we're all gonna be swinging from Clinton trees in the next few days after this broadcast, anyway. But I don't care.
Nah, Bill Gates has got the big. I don't know.
They
Man.
got big
That
people
guy's
to
on
chase.
a weird agenda, man. He's all
Yeah.
behind this
Vaccine stuff and
the
all of
food
that. Yeah.
stuff
The
too.
the mosquito stuff,
Keel.
mosquito
Yeah.
engineering, like all
Yeah.
sorts of weird stuff, eugenics and all sorts of weird shit he's into. But then, like we were saying earlier, like these people probably have got so much money and have done everything. All they all got to get into now is just all the weird shit because there's nothing else to do.
Mm.
So it's like maybe you just go mental in the end, and that's all there is to do is weird shit because you've got so much money. And they say
guess,
all scientists. He's saying a lot of scientists were on the Epstein Island. Maybe that is because he is a scientist after all, isn't he? He's like a mathematician and stuff as well. So it's all science as well. Maths is a science.
It's just all dodgy, man. I remember when I was young, I used to, when I was like in my late teens, early 20s, I think, I was proper into the Illuminati, you know, and is there some kind of cabal or conglomerate of people that run the world behind the scenes? And then I became a lot more skeptical in my mid 20s. Just started thinking, nah, it's all bullshit. Of course not. Of course not. Then as I get older and I just, you know, the world just goes crazier and crazier. The only thing that makes sense, you know, you get Occam's razor out trying to come up with the most likely scenario because that's probably what's taking place. And it does seem as if there's just a group of people running everything and they've all been compromised in some way and they're all part of a dodgy group. And you know what I mean? And then they're in control of all of these people underneath them, like a group of 50 or something. I don't know how many people, but just a relatively small group. And then they have people who they're blackmailed underneath them who do more. And, you know, how many people do you really need to control the whole world like that? It's not very many, is it? To be in positions of power.
Not if you have like 10 Epsteins working for you. You're
Yeah.
just getting a bunch of dirt on the super elites.
Well, they say it's 500, isn't it? With like the 100 being the top, and then you having like maybe like the top 5.
Yeah, the 5 underneath them, and then there's people underneath them as well. Yeah, just like the Don with the capos, you know.
Yeah, it's got to work that like that. Pyramid schemes are pyramid schemes, isn't it? And all cabals operate in the same way. They're just bigger or smaller and operate in slightly different ways. Their manifesto might be different, but their structure is basically all the same across the world. It's basic math.
I'm thinking too, conspiracy wise, since we always do that. If Ghislaine got moved and in a week or two she's assassinated, just know that there's definitely somebody pulling the strings.
Yeah,
behind the scenes.
That's 2 on top then, isn't it? It's 2 on top.
Yes.
But, Ghislaine's dead as well.
Oh no, the cameras weren't working again.
What a tragedy. Oh no.
What the fuck?
But then the same thing as we're in now. We won't be able to say anything about it. Nothing we can prove. Oh, it's just a big coincidence. Don't worry, everybody. You're a conspiracy theorist. But man, I think the 95% of people think that this Epstein shit is bullshit, man. Like, where's the fucking list? You said you were going to release it. Something clearly dodgy has been going on, and we need to know more about it. I saw this man, who was it? Shit. It was funny how they learned so much about who was it? Fuck, man. Sorry, I can't even think about.
Yeah, that's it. You should be sorry, mate. Fucking can't even think of someone's name.
No, it's who was it? Somebody
type it in Google.
It was that, you know, the guy who took a shot at Trump. And it was it's amazing how after a year we know nothing about these guys.
Yeah.
But after 4 days we know everything about this guy. And I forgot what the fucking guy did. Well, what's happened big recently in the USA?
Are you on about that concert guy at the Coldplay concert? The CEO.
Oh, that's
Coldplay
right.
concert.
That's the one. That's the one. You know, this CEO and his fucking mistress at the Coldplay concert. After like 4 days, the whole world knows everything about these motherfuckers. And they were just at a concert. So, but nobody knows anything about that Thomas Crook guy who took a shot at Trump. Nobody knows anything about it. We hear nothing about the guy.
Yeah, because he's being covered up, isn't it? Yes.
Yeah, and I don't know, something dodgy going on there. It's just, you know, these things they come to your attention. You're like, hold on, that just don't make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense, man.
Well, if you're just going based on facts, right?
Mm-hmm.
CNN had not covered any of Trump's live rallies, and they covered that one. So
but covered that
whatever
one.
whatever you want to fucking think. Why
Happened
were
to be-
they there at that one? That
It happened
seems
to be a
weird.
journalist with his camera set to
Right,
for a
yeah,
speeding
yeah.
bullet, which is what you wouldn't do in that event at all, ever. Unless you was
Wow,
waiting for a
really? Is that
speeding
the
bullet.
case
Yeah.
as well? That's
Yeah. He had his the photograph he took of the bullet. Yeah, can only be your camera shutter has to be set at a certain speed, and you'd only set it at that speed if you was going for a shot of something like that. If you know what I mean? Like
doesn't add up, does it?
no,
Doesn't
you was taking a picture of a flying bird or something like that, and you needed a speed shot. Yeah, not of a standing still someone at a rally shot. You'd have a shutter speed set at something different completely. Like it was like 10,000, and you'd have it at 500. Yeah,
But
so it was like, yeah.
We should cover that in an episode, Billy. We should cover that assassination in an episode, man.
Yeah,
There's
we
a
probably
lot
should.
into
Yeah,
that.
a lot into that as well. Yeah.
Sorry,
Hey,
Brian.
well, I was gonna say, to play devil's advocate for this kind of thing. On the flip side of that, because it is such powerful people, do you think that some of the super elite realize that if you kind of just release this list of the world's, like, kind of, I guess,
Nonsense.
now most famous, monster pedophiles, that economically things would go, it's a nuclear bomb in that way as
Wow,
well.
yeah, maybe that's it.
I think
I haven't
possibly,
thought about that.
Possibly that the finance world will just collapse because a lot of the powerful people that own all these businesses, people
Who
like
are
boycott,
big movers in the economy.
Yeah,
well, Bill Gates, for example, would people boycott Windows. Fucking how much money is that?
And
that's just one.
Yeah,
you know,
Disney would completely vanish.
Disney, Apple, say all of these companies are involved in some way. These huge companies, Tesla, these big companies, Lockheed Martin. I'm saying fucking what is it, the GW Pharmaceutical? No, GE, General Electronics. That's one, but one of the bigger pharmaceuticals. Yep. So these big guys in these big companies, man, they could easily be involved in something like this, allegedly. And then imagine all those companies just all of a sudden, like everybody just boycotts them. Like, don't use them; they're fucking nonsense. Yeah, I hadn't even thought about that.
All
at
once, more than likely.
Yeah, or that's it all at once. If it's all released at once, and it'll be like 30 fucking companies. It won't just be 5 random ones we can pick out. That'll be huge. It would be a massive shock to the economy. So maybe that's why I'm not going to try and cover for Trump and pretend like he's a good guy. Because maybe he is innocent, and this is why he's covering. This is why he doesn't want to release it. Because he should say that. Fucking just be honest. You're like, I can't release the list because there's loads of people on it and loads of businesses, and if we do release it, it's gonna fuck the economy so bad. And I don't think we can do that. So we can't release the list. And then people would be more understanding. Like, I understand the point. Some people would still want
it.
A
lot of people wouldn't release anyway. I think. I would anyway. Fuck the economy. We can cover it.
If the government can be just open and honest with their people like that, I think it would change a lot of things. But I don't ever see that happening. But
that's the problem. I think unless an actual revolution comes in, I don't think we're ever going to see that in our lifetimes. We're going to see
give the people the option.
Shit. Yeah. But I think
AI is coming soon. Don't worry. AGI is coming. Don't worry. We'll be fine then.
Yeah,
be sarcastic.
I wonder what happens when AGI comes out, and then AGI is like just decides to think I'm going to release the truth about all the governments to all the people across all the world, and because everything's stored on the internet, it knows where it all is. It don't need no passwords because it has all the passwords. You've typed.
It could make it up, bro. It could be like, how do I get rid of all the governments and take over for myself? Oh, I've got a plan. You look at this list. I'm releasing the list. And you know that JFK guy? 5 guys. 5 guys shot this motherfucker.
And stole his brain.
No, 9/11 holographic planes, bro. Holographic. You know what I mean? AI could do whatever the fuck it wanted and tell us anything. Man. We wouldn't even know the difference. So maybe that's how it happens.
Building 7, it was mice.
Yeah.
Them
times are coming, man. The next 5 years, them times are coming. Maybe.
It's definitely ramping up, dude. The way that they talk sometimes, especially in the Middle East, especially the stuff that's happening in Gaza. I mean, there's just that. I don't know how else it could look like.
That's another thing with boycott. A lot of people saying about boycotting like Israel and all of that stuff. It's like a lot of people seem to be taking their own bloody sort of their medicine. Fine, you know what I mean. So that's a bit odd,
To
isn't it?
me, both sides are fucked up, dude. The way that they let certain governments and Hamas rule them, that's fucked up. The way that it's treated is fucked up. The whole thing is a shit show, and I
Oh
don't
yeah,
even think
totally.
Americans. Yeah, and I personally, I
No one
don't even feel like
understands it
I'm
properly.
want to. Yeah, it's not even like you
This
want
is
to
what,
speak on
when
it,
it comes
other
to this
than
shit,
it's
I just
messed
like to
up.
say, I don't know enough about this subject to have an opinion on it. That's what I say.
Well, yeah,
Well,
everyone's
the
got. That's the
video,
problem in it. Is
yeah.
everyone's got an opinion, a really strong opinion on this subject. We've not really known enough about it, and to know enough about it, you have to spend like a whole month studying 8 hours a day, listening to about 1 billion opinions. If you know what I mean, because there's a lot of nuances about it to really get to the truth. And there's so many people on both, so far on both sides. If you know what I mean, as well, that it's difficult to really get to the truth. If you understand what I mean.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's
There's
one of the,
two
yeah,
routes into Gaza, right?
yeah,
Two routes that I guess are safe into there, right?
well,
There's
three
food
really,
forever. There's so much food that is piled up,
yeah,
and there's both sides are saying that it's not for whatever reason it's not going in, and then the people that are smuggling video out of that place are showing people with basically like their family's pot, the family's like cooking pot, and they all go down to where these relief trucks are kind of like driving through cooking this stuff. It looks like almost like grits to me. And they're taking like a few ladles full and giving it to them, and then the next person's pushing. And if you haven't seen those videos, I encourage you to look at that stuff because the IDF is not wanting the world to see that for whatever reason. And again, I don't want to try to portray like I know one side or the other. From what I've seen, both sides are really fucked up. That October 7th thing was super fucked up. But now we're at a point here where it's now like, affecting like women and children.
yeah. I
Like this
think
one guy was making I just want to make this one last
yeah. So
point.
God, yeah,
Okay, and the point is that there's baby formula at the side of both of these checkpoints, right? And adults don't want that baby formula. That's only for toddlers and infants. And for whatever reason, that's not being allowed through. And I think that is more people need to understand that from that point of view is like, why wouldn't that be sent in? Because it's uh, barbaric
yeah. I
to
think
me.
that's why Trump wants to send American troops in on the ground to do true humanitarian aid type. If you know what I mean, to make sure things are done properly. If you know what I mean, so no. So either side. So if you're gonna fuck with us, you're fucking with America, you cunts. Like so, I'll wipe both of you out if you sort of type thing. This like it's got to the point where it's like this is enough now. It's like Israel have done enough and you've done enough, so you just separate. What pisses me off as well is Egypt's doing nothing now. That's a bit shit. It's like Egypt could do a lot fucking more. I know they don't want to get involved politically because they're like, fuck it, we've had enough. We just want to sort our own country out, sort of thing. So I understand that sort of stance in a way, but it's like this situation needs to be sorted out now, sort of thing. It's got to the point of, like you say, where it's just become barbaric. You know what I mean? For
It's
whatever
barbaric,
reason,
dude.
it don't matter. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
getting to the point as where it's like it's barbaric now. It's like
It
I think
looks like it
even
looks
Israel
like
got
the
to that
early
realization as well now that like okay, we've maybe done enough now, enough destruction. We need to now sort of sort it out more normally. But like both sides need to understand that like they can't go to war forever. But or at least just get all the women and children out. If you know what I mean, on ships, let America go in there. Okay, all the women, children on the ship, we're getting you out. Then all the men can do what the fuck they want. If you know what I mean. Now fight out if you want. Fuck yous, you're men. If you know what I mean, now be men. It's like there's too much like pussyfooting around. If you know what I mean, I think that'd be the best thing. If you know what I mean, if there ain't no other option, if you just want to kill each other, then just get all the women and children out. Then let the men fucking sort it out themselves. Fuck them, they're men. If you know what I mean, there's how many men are on this planet? Like billions of us.
About
Fuck them.
4 billion.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So like, it's like let them fuck themselves up. Do what the fuck you want to each other. Who gives a fuck? Like, just get the innocent women and children out. It's like, but some of the women are actually gone crazy as well because they've been left to sort of thing. But so, what do? It's like, it's a fucked situation, man. Totally fucked. But we've got to do something, haven't we? Can't just leave it to because that's the whole conspiracy. Because that guy goes back fucking thousands of years as well. It's like the history of that part of the world is what sort of almost where the start of man comes from, isn't it? The Sumerians and all of that and shit.
Allegedly.
So like, yeah, that's what I mean. So it's like, what are they actually fighting over?
Maggie just loves to say allegedly.
You know what I mean? Because
You
that's
gotta
that's
throw
what
it
they're
in
fighting.
there. You know?
That's what they're fighting over. They're fighting like the land where Jesus and
Over land,
all of
yeah,
that
over
malarkey. So yeah.
yeah, King Solomon's land.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, so which is fucking centuries old, which is connected to our history and all that, which is also what do they know? The elites know about it to then fight over what they're doing and why they controlling the world. It's like it's all connected together in a strange way, if you know what I mean. Which is again what conspiracies is how shit like that's interconnected. The whole pyramid of the conspiracy world. At least we're not flat earthers. That's all I say.
There's definitely something to the land because that is like passed down in the DNA.
That's what I mean. Yeah. There's something about that part of the world because it's been forever thought of and thought about and dug up and everyone goes a bit mad about it. It's like, well, there's something about it. There's this shit written everywhere about it. The mountains as well in places, sort of. So it's got to have something to do with our history and something there. Maybe that's where the aliens landed. If you
I
know
don't
what I
know.
mean?
There's definitely there's in the fault lines and stuff that go around the world that kind of all vibrate to these certain locations. It's an eye-opening thing. When I was a little kid, I remember when we invaded Iraq, I thought like why does that fucking matter? Like that, you know, at least on the news and stuff, it was portrayed like Iraq was like this shithole country. And then I started researching Iraq in the early like Persian, like in the Persian
Persian Empire, yeah.
It was like beautiful. The Beverly Hills,
Iraq and Iran was lovely.
Yeah, so it started to. I feel like at an early age, I started to wonder, man, like the world is. How many times has the world changed? Where this part of the world was kind of like the bougie part, and then something happens, and now it's this part.
Yeah, there's so many. It's like the Persian Empire was great, then the Byzantium Empire, like the Roman empires, and sort of there's loads. Like even had like the fucking the Germanic ones as well, sort of even the Nordic ones. At their times.
So kind of the point of it too is that they all seem to fall. So it makes you wonder if America at some point is going to fall because
that's what that's what the meme is about. The man thinking about Rome, sort of thing, the fall of Rome. But we're obviously not thinking about that. We're thinking about tits. But
the whole Roman Empire thing is just thing you enjoy anyway. I think that's what.
That as well because we like we like the history of it, but also it's how did it fall was because they become too sort of like sexual with each other, wasn't it? Just sexual into parties. The farming was easy done for them. They had an easy lives. All the elites had an easy life. They didn't have to do nothing or strive for nothing, did they? If you know what I mean. All their wars were fought by
nothing was
people.
taboo back then.
Yeah, nothing was taboo
kind of like
back
depravity.
then. Yeah. And again, it's like that now. Taboo is almost nothing, because if
it is getting that way.
If you can get away with fucking eating Epstein's list, feeding it to your dog, and it then not exist anymore, then anything's not taboo, isn't it? You know what I mean? So that's where we're at now. So is that the empire falling? Like, and that, as you said, is that America or the Western Empire, not just America, because they're just the head of the Western Empire.
It's gonna be fine.
Well, are you sure?
I'm not sure of anything, but no. We're just going through a bad patch. That's all.
Just going through a bad patch. Just like in our history, we have ups and downs, and we're just on a big down at the minute. Big down.
Not big down. Everything's still going fucking really well. There's bad things happening for sure, but I think overall we're still progressing forward. And over the next couple of years, man, things are going to be
compared to 1994. Say, like we're on a big down. Like
what was good about 1984?
1994.
Yeah, what was good about 1994?
The music, the ecstasy, lots of people.
The ecstasy.
Yeah.
But do you think that
yeah.
could be just an age thing? Because you was a
No.
particular age at that particular time.
No, not really. Just because like there was less people
But
in everywhere.
I also think that we peaked at the 90s, like in the late
No.
90s, early 2000s. Fuck, man. Great times. Maybe early 2000s a bit too far.
But I do like the
But
internet
we're
times. They
still
are
doing
quite
good.
cool.
Yeah, we're still doing really good.
I do
The
like
technology we have now is fucking incredible, man.
Yeah.
If you went back 20 years and looked forward at the technology that we have, and just being able to have unlimited information in your pocket that's just readily available pretty much anywhere. That's fucking crazy shit, man. To be able to stream videos of whatever you're fucking interested in, wherever you are, and it's just incredible to me. And I think because it's like slowly progressed upon us that we have this technology now, we can seriously take it for advantage. But if you think about how lucky we are to have this shit where we can pluck this information out of the air around us, bro, that's some fucking crazy shit. Just saying. Just saying. Sorry. Fucking. But
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's
I do, yeah. I agree with
incredible
you
tech
as
we
well.
have.
To be honest.
Incredible.
I'm just
Well,
taking the piss.
I
Really.
had some debate with some vegan guy today, all right? And we were talking about it, and he's like, it's only recently where we've started to eat meat every day. Meat used to be a thing we had a couple of times a week, and I'm like,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
but
meat on
we
Sundays
progressed.
and
Yeah, meat
fish
on
on
Sunday, you get
Fridays.
Sunday roast. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But now we live in a world where everything's so easily, readily available to us.
Where
Like
people want meat
everything.
every day, greedy git.
Yeah. A meal isn't complete without a slice of meat or something on it. For me, at least, and I explained this to the guy. It's just we're so lucky to live at this time with all of these resources available to us and all this information.
Yeah,
I think it's
it's
easy for
like
us to get.
in the Western world,
Things are
we don't
good.
realise the luxury of being able to go to a fridge, freezer. Like, there's a lot of people in this world that don't even own a fridge, freezer. Don't even have the
Yeah,
electricity to own a fridge, freezer.
that's right. When they talk about the
So,
1%, we are the 1%.
yeah,
If you look at it on world
exactly.
scale, we are the 1%.
Hey, wait, I was listening to this podcast, and this guy said that until the late 1800s, the average lifespan for a human being across the board was around 35 to 40 years.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
It
People
seems
dying
so
of
short being 43.
man. You die of syphilis at the age of 28,
Fuck,
mate.
man. Yeah, it seems
Yeah. So
it's I agree with everything that you guys are saying. Like this is almost like the world's getting almost too easy and we're inventing
isn't it?
reasons
So
to be upset.
we need to all be grateful that we're all not dead like a rock star at the age of 27 from like all sorts of weird shit.
Yeah.
So,
Me and Jimi Hendrix. Janis
Tuberculosis.
Joplin.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, long list of them.
Yeah.
Kurt Cobain. So
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah. Anyway, we went off on a random tangent. There.
Yeah,
This
that's
Epstein
what
list
we're allowed
shit.
to.
I think it's absolutely fuckery, man. I think it's absolutely fuckery.
It's everyone thinks that. The general housewife thinks that.
Like
yeah.
90, but you still get them never die. But no, never Trumpers, because that's the people who don't like Trump. But you know, just no matter what Trump does, they will be like, "Oh no, who's doing the right thing? This is the wrong thing. This is it's pissed off so many people, lots of people on his base." And for a second there, you know, this happened a couple of weeks ago now, but I was thinking this might affect his results in the midterms that are coming up next year. You know, this is such a big deal to his base.
Yeah, maybe they're delaying it till just before the midterms and then bring it all out to.
Maybe.
Yeah, if you know what I mean, just a delay
It's still
tactic.
pretty far away.
Yeah, I know, but it's political, isn't it? He's thinking about sweeping the board, or maybe getting a load of people out.
Well, they shut down the government. Did y'all see that?
Oh
Like,
yeah,
shut it down
To
early.
make sure that this shit don't get spoken about. Yeah.
Right. So that
We
all
are forgetting.
automatically it's like, all right. When we started this show with is somebody pulling the strings? I don't know how you would argue against just even that alone. Like, why would they? From my knowledge, this has never happened before. They've never shut it down this early for their summer break or whatever they call it.
I wonder why they've done it. Did they have a
Yeah.
reason?
Oh, all of a sudden Epstein, hey, let's take a vote on this, and then they shoot that down. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why don't y'all want us to see what's really in there?
You know, it's so dodgy, isn't it? And I think it's so clear to so many people now. The more and more shit happens like this, because there's like these small things that put cracks in the dam. And the dam's going to break. And COVID put a huge fucking crack in the dam. So many people were there like, hold on for a second. these people don't have my best interests at heart at all here. You know, and that was a big crack in the dam. But and now
Yeah.
this fucking Epstein thing as well. It's another crack. Not as big as the COVID crack was. I think that definitely tipped a lot of people over the edge to be like, oh no, fuck this. They're lying. I'm done with this. But this Epstein thing, but especially the way Trump's handled it, like, what list? What do you mean? We don't even have a list. It's like, hold on, you be talking about the list for fucking years.
Yeah.
The only reason why we know there's a list is because you told us there's a fucking list. And it's fine if you didn't want to release it, but you campaigned on that shit, man. And we want you to keep your fucking promises and do
And
what
your
you said.
director of
Do.
the FBI said it, and your deputy director of the FBI said it right before they got elected.
Yeah.
And then
And now they're
no
just
list.
stone faced looking at the camera like there is no Epstein list.
They look
It was
spook
all a
in that
myth.
interview, man.
Yeah,
You look
did
at
you
their
see
body
that
language.
shit? They're scared, aren't they?
Oh, yeah, dude, that wasn't comfortable body language at all.
That's fucked, man. Something's going on, right? I think we all agree on that.
It's almost
yeah,
like they
yeah.
had the laser without the laser pointer on them when they were talking.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something.
totally, yeah.
You know what I mean?
think
Their kids
borderline
tied up in a
hostage
chair
video.
in front of the
Yeah.
camera. Right?
Just want to let my
Fuck,
know my
man.
family I'm safe. I'm working hard. It's like, why is he so scared all of a sudden?
You know, everything is absolutely fine. Go back and watch the video and see if he's tapping anything with his hand in like Morse code,
Yeah.
trying to send a different message. Help.
I think
They have my wife.
How many blinks a second he does and all that, is it? Yeah.
But
Yeah, somebody needs to go
Tulsi
check that.
Gabbard got in line too, which I thought was kind of
You
amazing.
think? What did she do?
Well, she just basically was like, look, there's no evidence for Iran. Trump, I think on the way to get into the helicopter.
She changed her mind though afterwards, didn't she?
Well, she changed her mind after I think somebody told her to change her mind.
Or maybe gave her the evidence to say that there was a problem.
But somebody keeps coming. To me, it seems like they're saying the truth or however they view the truth. Because she said that shit in like late February or early March. And then even Kash Patel knows all before they got elected, right? So they were saying what they truly felt. And then once they've been in there, it seems like they continue to do that at the beginning. And then somebody with a bigger suit than them comes over and says, like, look, knock this shit off.
Deep state.
You have the wrong intel. You don't know what you're talking about. And then it's like, you need to go on this interview and tell the lady that Epstein hung himself. You've been in that prison. You know how these things work. Because all that seems to me, the body language and everything seemed like that was a forced interview. And whoever was forcing him to do that is, there you go. That's to me kind of a smoking gun of this. Whoever's telling them to go and do those interviews. Because I'm sure they're not excited to do that. Their body language didn't seem like they came up with that idea. So who told them to do that? Trump? I don't think so.
Don't know.
Yeah, because like, they haven't got many people above them, have they? If you know what I mean, they're
Would
the
that be
boss,
Tulsi
so,
Gabbard?
Possibly,
Because that's what I mean. In the
Yeah,
public
that's what I mean,
view, wouldn't
yeah.
that be? But she's not been around, really. Not in the public viewpoint.
Yeah, so who is running the shit? Like that's that again, deep state and
On the
who's-
deep side of things, who's running it? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the part that I guess would make a whole administration seem to start to fall in line. Same thing with Pam Bondi, where she told her like,
yeah.
That's from James O'Keefe, by the way, too. When we found out that she told a nanny that she had thousands of hours of videotape. She told this to a lady at a restaurant, and the lady recorded it, and she sent it to James O'Keefe, and then he released it, or he threatened to release it, and then she came out and said that she had all that on the White House lawn, and then he released the video of it. So something's going on, man, where the evidence is there. They're saying a bunch of stuff, and then whoever's telling them not to do that for whatever reason. And to me, at this point, it's getting creepier because it's like it's
more
almost
and more
like
people are involved.
They're in the back against the wall even more and more, and then they just say like the more wildest thing, like, "Well, just don't talk about it anymore." That'll be let's have Trump go out there and just say like, Epstein? Like, who the fuck's talking about Epstein? That's old school news, player. Let's talk about some new shit.
That's
And I
what
think
got me.
everybody
The
in
way,
the world was like, wait, what?
yeah, the way he said it as well. It's like
Yeah.
guilty as fuck, man. Whatever's gone on, he's guilty in some way. You know, is he guilty for what's happened on the Epstein Island? Fuck knows. You know, if is he just trying to cover up for somebody else, or like you said, all the companies that would be compromised if this information back was released. I don't
Covering
know,
up
man.
for the
Hey,
effects of
covering
what
up
would
for somebody.
happen.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That wasn't an innocent guy talking. Epstein
No, it
is
was
everybody still talking
or
about
a very
Epstein?
knowledgeable, almost
Hmm.
too knowledgeable guy being like, just please fucking stop
Mhm.
talking about this.
Yeah.
You have no idea what's going on behind the scenes. Just please fucking
Mhm.
don't talk about this shit. I got people scaring me, and I'm the president of the United States.
Or maybe he's heavily involved. Who knows,
Well,
man?
back in the day, I know that in the early days, it did come out that Trump and Epstein were fucking the same chick for a while, and they
All
both
right.
knew about it. But she
Oh,
was of age, so it wasn't like, you know.
it was still a bit weird. I think.
But still, I mean, I've had some Eskimo brothers and stuff. I mean, I kind of know how that would work, but you know, it showed that they're you know, they're fucking the same chick and they know about it, so that usually means that they're cool with each other.
Well, no, because they were friends. That's undeniable. But he was kicked out of Mar-a-Lago because there's some interesting stuff that's come out about the whole Mar-a-Lago thing as well, where Jeffrey Epstein was trying to take underage girls who were waitresses at Mar-a-Lago, and Donald Trump kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago and didn't speak to him because of that. Like that was the end of their
Yeah.
relationship. But then why underage girls working at Mar-a-Lago? Maybe they're allowed to as restaurant people or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
She
maybe
was a
waitress
locker room
staff. You're
attendant.
allowed to be from sauce, things like that. Yeah. So I mean,
She
there'd
worked
be
in the
certain
locker
jobs.
room,
Okay,
and Epstein would go into the woman's locker room and talk to her.
that's an odd
So not
thing, isn't
only
it?
is she underage, but he's in the woman's locker room.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this guy was very bold with his shit, and that's why I brought it up at the beginning when he was at the high school. Is that supposedly he's been doing this forever,
So
and
he probably
nobody
had.
has really said anything. Like he got fired for diddling high school chicks when he was a teacher, and then all of a sudden he got this money, then he got power, and then he's doing it on like a grand scale, and he still really never got in trouble until the very end. So
Because
something's going on, dude. Because
a lot of
that's
powerful
the charge that
people.
brings you down no matter who you are, man. You could
Yeah.
have, you know, billions of dollars if everybody can prove that you're diddling kids, you're done, man. Look at R. Kelly and stuff. I mean, people just it's disgusting. They don't want anything to do with that person. But for whatever reason, Epstein was able to kind of still have a normal life. I mean, even when he got in trouble, he was able to go and have like a work release that was on his own accord.
Yeah, there's a lot of powerful
What
people at
pedophile can just
Mar-a-Lago as well. So he's
yeah,
probably felt he probably had a load of pictures of pigs of half the people there when he could walk about thinking, yeah, I do what I want. You can't do shit. I've got a picture of you and a pig. You know what I mean? So it's like that gave him the bravado to then just walk in women's locker rooms because he's like, do what the fuck I want, mate. After people
bravado.
behind me, yeah.
Think of the balls of having President Bill Clinton in a dress.
Yeah, that's what I
in
mean.
the dress
Yeah,
that he
yeah,
nutted on and got himself in trouble with
yeah.
because he
It's like,
couldn't. That is like the ultimate blackmail that he probably had hanging in his own personal, you know, estate, just kind of giggling to himself like I got presidents that are fucking afraid of me. Look at him in his
yeah.
little dress over here.
He probably
And then he
fucked
had
people in front of
Bush.
it, saying, "Look how powerful I am." Like, you know
Yeah,
what I mean? Yeah,
and he had Bush as a kid, like a toddler, playing with blocks that simulated 9/11 or something.
I imagine do you know American Psycho when he's with the hookers and he's just looking at himself in the mirror?
Yeah.
Yeah. It don't matter what he's fucking in front of him. He's just looking at himself, giving it. Yeah, that's who I am. Like that. It's everything else is irrelevant. It's like look who I am, sort of like ego. Look at me. Yeah. Look at me.
It's weird that is what
You
it
like that
seems like
scene, do you,
people
Billy?
want, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I love that scene.
Look at me.
But I do like that scene just because of that thing that really portrays that character, if you know what I mean, in a very good way. And to me, that the psychological study, I like studying some people's mentality and their psychology. It says a lot. So and to me, obviously, Epstein's was a bit odd. Let's say.
Hey, and I also, to be clear, there some of the MAGA base is trying to make it seem like Ghislaine was like a innocent person in all this. But in the testimony, even in the first time he got in trouble, all those girls testified that basically she would molest them to kind of make sure that they won't say anything. And then that's when she would kind of like pass them on to the people. So she was just involved in
Yeah,
all
she
of
was
this
part of
shit.
it. She was a
Yeah.
groomer and all that
So
as well. Yeah,
so
allegedly.
if you're into what we're talking about today and you want to kind of see the truth of that, I think the first time that he got in real trouble and then got that sweetheart deal, if you watch some of those early things with that and see how involved Ghislaine was, this is a creepy thing, man. This is creepy that it happens. It's creepy that he was able to get the kind of money. I think it was Leon Black. He also got kind of hemmed up in the same situation, and that guy, I believe, gave him like $150 million. I mean,
I,
I got good buddies, man, that would probably get me out of jail or hemmed up in something.
yeah.
But I've never met a homie that would be just give me 150 mil
Yeah,
just
it's
off
like
the rip.
you
Like,
maybe
hey,
like $1,500 on bail. Like, yeah, man, I don't mind bailing you out for like a couple of grand or something. Like, but yeah, 150 million is a bit different, isn't it? It's like
Yeah, it's a lot of
fucking
money to
yeah,
anybody, isn't it?
yeah. It's
well,
a lot of
that's what
fucking
I mean.
money.
He was doing this. He was basically being like a Suge Knight, where he was just extorting people, taking their
Mm.
royalty rights in a different way, but doing it on like a grand scale. Instead of
Yeah,
like a couple points, so you get millions of dollars. This dude's doing it for this dude for a house and some money and
go and buy
150 million
go and
dollars.
buy a shitty baseball team for that sort of money, couldn't you?
Yeah, yeah. And he had Prince Andrew hemmed
He had
up in
him
some
sweating.
stuff
Allegedly,
He
too,
had him sweating.
allegedly.
allegedly.
Allegedly sweating.
Well, there's a video of a young girl comes out with Epstein. They're walking down the street, and then whoever's watching their house follows them. And then Epstein gets into it looks like a private car with a private driver. And then the young girl goes back to the Epstein's estate. And then when she goes in there, then another young girl comes out. And as she's leaving, you can see Prince Andrew come out in frame and wave to the young girl as she's leaving, and then goes back into the house.
Wow.
So that,
Crazy world we live in.
I mean, the royal world's got to be weird too, because when you were saying you have all the money in the world, well, imagine if you
Yeah.
had money and power.
Yeah, actual power because
Almost
you're
un
royalty. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Prince. I would think a prince feels like unstoppable.
Feels like
Like
royalty. Yeah,
Joffrey.
yeah,
Joffrey
yeah,
from Game of Thrones. Remember that guy?
yeah. So it is. They say ultimate power corrupts, don't they, as well? Because you've obviously, and maybe that's why, because you've got nothing else to do. Even normal stuff is boring because you can do literally everything. You can own everything if you wanted.
Yeah,
Like, so, like, yeah.
I
What's
like to
left
compare
is
it to GTA.
crazy shit.
Yeah,
I know what you mean.
Once you have all the money and all the businesses and all the cars you need in GTA, you start playing.
Yeah, it's boring.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's boring.
You just
Now,
start
imagine
rocking
putting that into
launching
real life.
cars.
Yeah, when you've got the perfect house, numerous of them, all the fucking fancy cars you need,
Castles.
all the
I mean, this
supermodels.
motherfucker's got
Man, anything you fucking want, you can just get. You don't even have to try for anything anymore. What does that do to the human brain, man? I think it does some strange things.
Yeah, because there's nothing to live for almost.
Yeah, the struggle is it's an important part of
Yeah.
the human existence, the human experience.
Maybe
And when
that's
you don't
what
have to
keeps
struggle.
that's what
Mhm.
keeps certain people sane. Maybe that's what why Bezos keeps finding weird shit to do all the time because he don't want to go mad. That's why Musk hasn't gone mad because he's got engineering stuff to keep
Yeah, it keeps his mind busy.
keeps his mind busy. He hasn't just got money and then nothing to do. He's constantly trying to innovate to then keep his mind busy because obviously he's got so much money. There isn't nothing. He could just sit on a beach all day and go mad. But
Yeah.
obviously he doesn't want to because like he knows he will, if you know what I mean. So it's you've got no choice. So it does automatically just prove that if you don't keep your mind busy and to strive to do something, you're just gonna end up going mad and then a bit mental and then doing all this weird shit which all these crazy elites seem to be doing, like drinking blood and fuck no Diddy parties and Epstein Island shit.
It's another thing. What do you think is going to happen with Diddy? You think he's going to get released on a pardon or what?
I don't know. We'll find out, I suppose. It's hard to speculate with fucking nowadays, if you know what I mean. Nothing makes sense.
Well, he wasn't granted bail, so I guess legal experts. If you've never seen Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. Anytime some shit happens, if you want to watch him on YouTube, that dude is fantastic. And he was breaking it down that because he didn't get granted bail at any time, that he's going to have to serve some jail time. But the fact that he didn't get the two biggest charges against him is basically like he's mostly going to get a slap on the wrist.
Wow.
Yeah. Which is
what about who you know?
crazy.
So some jail time could mean just 6 months, but then that could be suspended though, can't it? He could get 2 years suspended.
He might get, like 2-3 years, and then he'll get credit for time served. He might then get early release for good behavior.
Exactly. So, and then so time spent. So how many days has he already spent? He could just get like that.
I think he got arrested last year.
Yeah, so he's done a year. So if he gets like 18 months and then 8 months off for good behaviour, then he's done his year, isn't he? And he's out.
Yeah. The people that, if he really is a monster, the people that turn their back on him, if he really is blowing up people's cars and he's a public figure like that, that man is unhinged. Because why would you want to fuck up everything you've built?
Because he don't give a fuck.
Just because some dude is fucking your chick, you know? That's not even really your chick.
He could turn into the Joker and just spend all his money on fucking everyone up when he comes out.
From what came out in that testimony and highlights and stuff,
that's what I mean. He could
Diddy seems to be like the boogeyman. Like everyone's afraid of Suge Knight, but secretly Diddy was
the Joker, man. The Joker could come out to play, man. You never know. You just think, fuck yous, I've got all your secrets as well, you cunts. Teams up with Ghislaine and they all give it some large. You don't know. Fuck knows.
But do you notice that all this stuff has been coming out about like sex? Like it's almost like the last 5 years they've been trying to tarnish each other with painting themselves as some kind of like sexual deviant or pedophile. Because that's the ultimate like a race card.
Yeah,
you know, you're done for.
Yeah.
No, you're no more whatever your livelihood is, no one's gonna fund it anymore.
Yeah, that's the top trump card, that is, isn't it? That one. The old.
And they lead with that stuff. Because can you imagine I don't know how you guys grew up, but like where I grew up, if someone called you like a bitch or was fucking around and saying that you were a pedophile or just whatever they thought they could get away with, if you didn't stomp that dude out in there as best you could, that would almost like carry with you forever. People would be clowning on you and stuff. So to lead with that in the world is to me is kind of high. It's like going up to somebody you don't really know them and just straight off calling them a bitch. Like it depends on where that person has come from and what kind of life they had, on whether they're just going to kind of let that roll off their back or actually kind of step up to that kind of phrase. Yeah,
complete stranger.
That's a dangerous word.
It's a dangerous word to use to someone who you don't know and just with no context. It's like, what do you mean I'm the bitch? Then smack, you're the bitch because you're laying on the floor, sort of thing. Like, so it's it's crazy. That's real. The reaction you should get because it's just being intolerant of people's as well. Do you think the intolerance of other people as well gets in the way of these elites? If you know what I mean. They definitely don't.
We're stupid and stuff.
Yeah, basically, yeah. They think we're all stupid low lives, and we're just like we have no tolerance of these fucking cleaners and people who mow our lawns and scrub our bathrooms, clean our shoes.
The NPCs.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, we are playable characters, but it's the non-profitable characters they probably see it as, rather than playable. Yeah, because they don't profit off us. If you know what I mean, like, their life doesn't benefit us. Like they could change the cleaner with any other cleaner, and it would make no difference to their life. If you get what I mean, Yeah, so they have of no
Crazy, man.
meaning. Yeah, it's like, but when they go to their parties, they soon like dress up in their jewels and their dresses, throw their keys in the
Well,
dish.
I for one think there's still a lot more we're going to learn about this whole Epstein thing. It's
Oh
just going to
yeah, I
take some
think
time
there's
to get it released.
shitloads to come out. Yeah, we just need
Mhm.
them to release as much as possible, and we hope
I
they
don't think
do.
they're going to release it. Somebody else needs to release it.
Yeah.
And it's coming to
This
the
is
point as
not going to go
well.
away just by
Yeah,
saying
that's it.
Yeah,
go
yeah,
away.
it's not going to go away. Do you think it could be whistle blown? Something could be whistle blown.
I don't know
and then
because
more
everybody's
will
so
come out?
skeptical as well, and it's coming to the point where AI it can make footage that is indistinguishable from reality, really. So at some point they're going to start releasing things, and we're just going to be so skeptical of everything. Like, yeah, it might be AI. Like, what, we're a year away from that, maybe two, where they'll play a video, and we wouldn't be able to tell if it was AI or not. It could be legit. So then we're going to be even more skeptical of what gets released. So it's up in the air what happens here. There's lots of dodgy shit that's fucking happened, man, and they're just not telling us about it. Because I think that like I said earlier, to get into those kinds of positions of power, these motherfuckers have got to go and fuck the pig. And it might not be fuck the pig; it could be something else. Fuck the dog, or do this dodgy shit with his child. So sick fuckers, man. And when they get the footage of it, they were like, "We'll release this shit if you don't toe the line." And then you can be allowed to be a member of state or a huge film star or a director,
Or
anything like
whatever
that.
you
So,
wanted to be. Yeah, what was your dream?
yeah, whatever it
Yeah,
is. Yeah.
yeah.
We'll make it happen. We'll make sure that
Yeah.
it does. But first of all, you have to do this.
Satan appears with a pig and goes, "Fuck this," and your dream will come true.
Mhm.
Yeah, basically.
Or some kind of
yeah.
metaphor of that, you know? And that's what's
Yeah.
going on, man. I don't know. As I get older and get more cynical about what is actually going on in the world, I think that is most likely the case. You know what I mean? Somebody
Yeah,
did it
sure.
at some time.
Yeah,
can you do?
it's almost like there's some kind of underlining issue with the religious parts of the world and then the perversion parts of the world. And when
Mm.
those two collide, that's when it's really I don't
Yeah,
know,
basically, it's really
eye-opening.
crazy. Yeah, eye opening. And I think that's where we get into the stage now, especially with the internet. We're becoming more eye opened to what's really happening and gone on around the world.
Mm-hmm.
And I suppose coming to that realization as a mass, if you know what I mean, as a
Yeah.
whole collective, if you know what I mean, rather than individually, because we can discuss that as a unit now, whereas before we wouldn't have been able to sit and discuss this together.
No.
You would only been able to do it with a few of your mates rather than like a few other people around the world. If you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Well,
Can you
And the
imagine
potential
talking
of
about this
thousands.
10 years
Yeah.
ago? People
Mhm.
would think that we were on the super fringe. Yeah, right. There's people out there hooking up with kids and people are recording it, blackmailing them. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Okay, Alex Jones, whatever you're saying, buddy.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, basically, yeah, totally, yeah. You fucking crazy tinfoil out wearing. You'd be telling me the Earth's flat next, mate, wouldn't you?
Now it's
Like,
true.
And now it's actually true, yeah.
And not only true, it's like it's so true that it's creepily being covered up.
Yeah.
Imagine this to me would be the same thing as like the whole world saw 9/11, and then I don't know, a year or two later they're like, yeah, no, the buildings nothing hit the buildings. And then the whole world's like, wait, what? And they're like, yeah, we were telling you from the get-go. The last administration was saying buildings were hit. That's not really how it went down. This is how it went down, and now we're moving forward. And you'd be like, no, that's not
Yeah.
that's
I know
not how
what you
that
mean,
went.
Yeah, totally. It's like
I we experienced this shit. We went through these things as a country. I think where everyone
no,
was kind
man.
of questioning.
The buildings were a controlled demolition, man.
You can't say
No,
they didn't
but,
fall down
yeah,
now. That's not.
yeah,
No. That's not
yeah.
true. So you can't say there's no Epstein list or file,
Yeah.
whatever word you want to use for it. There's something there, man, and you're gonna release it, or I think a lot of people are never gonna forget that.
Yeah, that's the issue. There's too many people who can't forget it as well. It's not like it's a few. The internet, it's not like it's just in a couple in one country as well. It's like around the world people know this to be true. So it's like this ain't ever going to disappear. It's one of them
They
stories
made it
that
worse
can't.
by doing it like that.
Yeah,
Now
basically.
everybody kind of knows.
Yeah. It was like a news announcement. Even people who didn't pay attention paid attention for a minute. And now there's got a reference as well. So that phase one was a bit like a bit crazy. But I suppose we'll find out soon, won't we, really?
Well, yeah, that's it. I was going to ask, what's your predictions next, Billy? What do you think is going to happen over the next few months to a year regarding all this Epstein shit?
I think the pressure of a lot of people are going to force them to release some stuff, or they're going to force them to release everything, but they're going to release some stuff, maybe not everything, obviously. And maybe a whistleblower as well, just give it, you know what, fuck this, fuck my career, fuck my life. My wife hates me anyway. I've got no kids. All my rest of my family are dead. And then releases some real juicy information that fucks shit up. Hopefully. That'd be it. That's my prediction anyway, or my hope. How about you? Go on.
Man, I don't know. I think more is going to be released, but I just don't think anything substantial is going to be released. Otherwise, it would have done already. It's just everything's just going to be speculation at this point. I don't think it's going to change from there for a while, unfortunately, unless Ghislaine comes out and starts fucking saying things, which is looking likely. But I don't think that, because not only does she have to say something, but when she says it, it has to
Just
be
prove
released
it.
by the mainstream media before others proving it. But if it's too dodgy, maybe the people running the mainstream media companies will just be like, "Oh, don't report on that. Move
Well,
on.
they've got no
Ignore
choice.
this."
The internet is not just the mainstream news anymore. That's the issue they have, isn't it? Really. What about you, Brian? Where do you think where the future or the next few months are? Where are we going?
Yeah, I would say that whoever is behind the leaks to journalists like James O'Keefe, if they are like how you're just describing, somebody that is kind of like getting to the point where it's like, all right, I released those photos and those videos of Epstein Island, and it's creepy. That little like iron gold looking dome type structure even has JE with the initials by the front door. So there's some kind of symbolism and all this kind of stuff going on around there. And then because of all of those things, I think it's on such a deeper level of what was going on there because of the things that were built. Like all of that stuff was built by him. He actually skirted a bunch of like the laws and had to pay a bunch of fines and stuff just to build it quicker than it normally is. So whatever that island was used for, it was used with a purpose, and for that purpose, seems like there's a
Mhm.
ton of symbolism around whatever was going on there, and it's in the background in weird ways. So to me, that's where it's like if Ghislaine starts to say something and then something happens to her, like I said at the beginning, or if she's moved to now this Texas prison and somehow gets maybe doesn't even get killed but gets hurt so that the message is sent, or if
Mhm.
journalists like James O'Keefe that apparently have some kind of connection to somebody deep in the White House, if that how some a certain video gets released or a list is released through him and then he's somehow assassinated, or is Mercedes Benz like that other journalist that was into Hillary Clinton stuff, if it just runs into the tree like whoa, what the fuck, how did that happen? That's the kind of stuff that's very eye-opening to me, that there are people behind the scenes that are definitely willing to kill in public to make sure that the public doesn't know what's really going on. And it does seem like to kill himself, Epstein to kill himself, to claim all that, then Epstein's brother pays to have a very well-respected coroner look over the body, autopsy, and claim that he was murdered through strangulation based on the way that the part of the body was, some of the bones were broken and stuff. Um, it's I guess the best word that I can always use to this, man, at this point is creepy, man. It's creepy that this shit is even happening, and then it's creepy that there's some kind of cover up and there's not just some person being like such a cheerleader that's going around and arresting all of the people that were involved. Because
Mhm.
Ghislaine Maxwell until recently was in Florida for trafficking young women, and that was trafficking to young women to who? And that was
Yeah,
to nobody. No
Yeah,
one,
exactly.
there was no John Doe's. So why is that even? All of this doesn't make sense, and that's why, like, on an umbrella term, man, this shit is creepy as fuck. And I hope that truth does somehow come out where somebody is brave enough to at least give it to like a journalist, and they kind of reveal that. And if you haven't seen the video and the pictures of what was on that island, I encourage you to watch his videos, man, because it is, there's something too when you are rich as fuck where the symbolism matters. And so if it's like a vase that was made in the 15th century and it costs $100,000, like these guys will buy that shit up for whatever reason. And then a lot of the stuff is like the creepier stuff from the medieval times that this gentleman was buying up. And it's like, okay, he has unlimited wealth and he wants to buy
Torture
all of the
masks and shit like that.
murderous. Yeah, he wants all
Yeah.
the fucking really creepy shit. It's like, whoa, this guy's on a dark level here. It's not like he wants to use his money and travel the world and just kind of enjoy his life. He's on a mission, and whatever that mission was, he was building temples and he was trying to put like almost like the Sistine Chapel underneath the iron dome part. But it hadn't been finished yet. And the videos from James O'Keefe show all of that. So it's not even necessarily that there's some like dark, creepy, like look at all this. It's more of there's a blade from like the 14th century that probably killed thousands of people that's just chilling on the nightstand kind of thing. And that's the part that's kind of like, man, this dude probably went out of his way to get the creepy shit. But how do you just, I mean, who do you call to go and get like medieval shit,
Mm.
I would imagine, especially at his time in the earlier 2000s, that's not exactly like the easiest thing to do. You probably had to seek out that.
Yeah, you probably had to know a guy.
Yeah, no guy.
This
who
dude
knows
was
the
on
guy,
another
yeah.
level of
Yeah.
just kind of,
Mm.
he seemed to be like wanting to be on the fringe of a psychopath, but still being able to blackmail everybody, which
Yeah, that's
I didn't understand how nobody at that level was able to blackmail him,
Mm.
maybe that's what it is. It's some just big blackmail circle, and it's who you got information on who to what you can get and where. If you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's one just big information highway, but it's a blackmail chain. Crazy,
He must have been the best at it, man, because it didn't seem like people.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're giving up your house and you're giving up 150 million.
Thing is, he isn't the only one, bro. There's more of them out there.
Yeah,
Hell
that,
yeah.
that's,
the one we know
that's the
about.
scary thing.
1,000%.
He's the one we know about and who got caught.
He's the one that probably, in the hindsight, was
Went
probably
too
not
mad.
the best at it.
Yeah, or maybe because he was the best, he just went mad because he was too good. If you know what I mean, he was too good at it, and in the end, it fucked him up because he just went mad because he was too good at it. If you know what I mean.
No,
The,
just
like
because he
the
went
mad
mad doesn't mean he
scientist.
went stupid.
No, the
You
mad
know?
scientists. So the mad scientists always seem to go a bit mad. So, oh well.
Well, I think to your point, I think he did kind of do that because from what they were saying with the Ghislaine trial is like he kind of started out like once or twice a week, and by the end of it, he was having it happen like 2 or 3 times a day with 2 or 3 different, with different girls. So imagine having to keep up with that and then keep it a secret and not having a bunch of people find out. It's like he just went too deep with his bullshit and got caught with his own greed.
Yeah, just went too.
I mean,
yeah,
2 to 3
far.
times a day, bro. It's like, damn, man.
Yeah, that's
like,
that's
don't you want a
that's
sandwich?
addiction, that is, isn't it? Yeah.
I can see like maybe a proper Monday, but then you take a rest on Tuesday and you kind of like, you enjoy the beach and the waters a little bit. And then on Wednesday, you maybe set up another little, but every day, that just seems like it was on a whole other level for him.
Yeah, that's like Diddy level of style, isn't it? If you know what I mean. So,
Yeah.
well, it's been nearly 2 hours we've been chatting this shit now. So, before
Longer
we
than
start,
it would have taken
Yeah.
to read out the list.
yeah, I suppose.
Epstein brings
Yeah.
the best out of us,
Yeah, exactly.
Study this shit like it's like we're
It's
getting
just this
tested
whole,
on.
this
It's
fucking-
interesting,
this group
though.
of people who run the world, man, and these shady ways they do.
It does. It shows the people
Interesting.
that thought they wouldn't get caught jumping on that little Lolita Express. And to be at a president level and riding in somebody else's plane is weird.
Yeah, it's just the levels.
From
it
what I
goes up
understand,
to,
the
isn't it?
Secret Service never leaves you, right? I'm not an expert on this by
Pretty
any-
much, yeah.
But so if
The-
that's true, then doesn't that mean that at some point, because he traveled, at least from Bill Clinton's standpoint, he's traveling so much that at some point there would have been a Secret Service agent that would have been knowing about this, or several,
At
depending
least
on
one.
how that works.
Yeah, would have been at least one. Yeah.
Because when I was little, I remember my dad, he was telling a joke or something. It was like a little dinner party, and I remember I wasn't supposed to hear it, but he was joking that because of the Secret Service always having to be in there, that that guy had to watch Monica Lewinsky blow Bill Clinton.
Yeah,
I remember being like 8 or 9 years old, being like, I wonder what blow means, you know?
It would have been outside the door, so there would have been. It would have checked the room. There would have been like on all the doors, and there'd be only like entry, if you know what I mean. So he would have known. So that would have been the best. If I mean, he would have closed the door, and then left them both in there.
Well, he's, you know,
No,
I'm sure you
what's
guys
going
know.
on?
He was
But
putting
even
his
still-
cigars up there and then lighting them up, you know?
Yeah.
Allegedly.
That was his thing.
Well, we could ask the owner who's got the dress now, but he's not with us anymore. So
Allegedly.
allegedly,
I think it's quite possible that he's still out there.
He's still out there. Well, on that note,
I wouldn't put it past the way that he seems to manipulate people. Maybe he was like, look, you guys want me to go away? Fine. But you got to make it look like I took myself out and then I will never pop up again.
yeah.
I think they put him on a
live on my
submarine and
upper
made him
island.
sail. They put him on a submarine and made him sail to Argentina. That's what it was. Oh no, that was the other guy. That was the other
That's
guy.
the other guy.
Yeah, I think if he really is working with Mossad, then they probably put him somewhere in Israel or some other spot where they control it heavily.
Just on another
where he's
island.
safe.
They've got loads of thousands of islands across the world, isn't there, in the sun? So,
I mean, imagine if you had that kind of knowledge and money. They could be like, yeah, we're gonna put you in like Fargo, North Dakota, and we're gonna let you chill there for a while. And it's like, how is nobody gonna notice me? It's like no one fucking notices anything in Fargo, North Dakota.
A little bit of plastic surgery, and then no one will know who you are.
You just, you could probably play golf the rest of your, just be the old guy, you know, wear pink
just be that old
sweaters
guy,
and shit.
Yeah, exactly. He's the old guy who wears pink sweaters. Like, no one's gonna think you're some fucking old Nazi fucking pedo dude.
You're going to be known as Gerald.
Yeah.
Gerald Epstein, whichever one it wasn't. You know what I mean? There we go. Sorted. Oh, that name's pretty close to that dodgy guy. Yeah, I get that. No.
I get that a lot.
I get that a lot, man.
I get that a lot, the bastard. And then walk off, innit? Yeah, no one would think like. Well, on that note, we should wave to the people in chat out there and everyone else.
Yeah.
Say goodbye.
Let us know what you think, everybody. What's your take on this whole Epstein shit? And let us know, he's trumping on it. If he is, then to what extent? What was it Jeffrey Epstein doing? And feel free to have a rant in the comments there and let us know what your position is on this, because I don't think anybody has like the exact same perspective as everybody else.
I would love to see mainstream media, because from what I understand from the testimony, it's true, to run a story that said Trump and Epstein were Eskimo brothers. Can you imagine that headline?
Yeah, crazy shit.
The Eskimo
use the term Eskimo though, because that's supposed to be offensive nowadays, isn't it? You have to say Inuit.
The Inuit brothers.
That's right.
Yeah, but it has a different meaning though. Eskimo brothers doesn't mean Eskimo, does it?
No, I wouldn't say so, but we all know what's going on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm waving and getting out of here before someone turns up with an oak tree and a shotgun.
That's right. We've said too much already. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Well, cheers, everyone. I'm going to skip to the outro. You can have some groovy music to listen to while you contemplate the world. Good luck. Hopefully we see you next month or again soon. So, yeah, cheers, guys. Later.
See you guys.
Goodbye.
Click to outro. Cheers, guys. Bye.
There we go. So we can say retarded faggots.